Is he delusional? What is he?
You know, I would probably tend to lean toward delusional. I mean, this guy has been talking about major, grandiose projects for at least a dozen years with asthma. We did a story about a week and a half ago that's on our website, investigativeproject.org, that shows that he claimed to have you know, been holding religious services for up to 500 people in what is an Upper West Side apartment building. We've looked at the money that goes to his other group, the Cordoba Initiative, found that they didn't report about $100,000 in contributions on their tax forms. There's a lot there that bears scrutiny. You know, whether he's a moderate, who knows, but there's plenty of evidence that when it comes to reporting what he does, where his money comes from, there's not much there.
All right. Now, to be fair to Imam Rauf, he says he would put forth where the money for this Cordoba project comes from. Now, let's get back to Khan. Khan is a doctor, an MD. He works at a prestigious hospital on Long Island. He's well accepted in the community, I don't know, you know, the Muslim community, I guess. Is it unfair of us to question Rauf for his association with this Khan, even though Khan's opinion about 9/11 is insane?
I don't think it's unfair to question the association. I mean, look, a lot of people have disagreements about whether the mosque is a good idea. That's fine. But I mean, to not believe the 9/11, the facts around 9/11, that's really out there on the fringe. And, you know, he should be asked to explain it.
Okay. Now, many Americans believe that this mosque is going to be a front for, you know, Muslims who don't like the USA. It's going to be used for nefarious purposes. Do you have any evidence to show that might be the case?
No, not really. We just have a lot of questions. We've looked at, you know, the funding sources to Rauf's two organizations. Have found some with the group called Asthma, you know, from other countries, not particularly dangerous countries, but other countries nonetheless. But who knows? I mean, once the thing gets going, he forms another nonprofit where he doesn't have to disclose his contributors. Nobody knows where that money's coming from.
Okay, but even if the money comes from sources that aren't friendly to the United States, does that mean the mosque itself or the community center itself would be used you know, for purposes to harm this country? It doesn't. See, that's where we can't make that last jump. All we can say,
no, we can't.
In fairness, is Rauf hid this association with Khan. There's no question he did, because we asked him today to explain it, and he won't. So
Right.
He hid it. He didn't want people to know about it. Now it's out there. All right. Khan is a loon, and he's a loon that is making excuses for Al Qaeda, and you know he's involved with this guy Rauf. Not good, Mr. Locker. I'll give you the last word.
Well, no, it's definitely not good. And I think it bears, you know, further scrutiny. Who else has the Imam done business with? And, you know, as usual, follow the money.
All right. Mr. Locker, thank you. Next on the Rundown, Juan and Mary Catherine will respond to the latest information on the mosque controversy. And then Britt Hume will talk about the political implications for President Obama, who's now invested in the controversy, but lined up against the majority of Americans who don't think the mosque is appropriate. Moments away. With our lead story, the man behind the Ground Zero Mosque, Imam Rauf, and his association with the man who holds radical views on the 9/11 attack. Joining us from Washington with reaction, Fox News analyst Mary Catherine Ham and Juan Williams. You know, Imam Rauf wants to, or he says he wants to bring everybody together, give peace a chance. He's a great conciliator, all of that, conciliator. I don't know. He wants to bring everybody together, or something, O'Reilly. However, we asked him point blank, what about this guy Khan, you know, and he's running. He's running and hiding, Juan. I mean, that's crazy, is it not?
Well, it is crazy, and you know, your previous guest, Locker, said, you know, it invites questions. I think it goes beyond that. I think it invites suspicion. I think that it invites people to say, wait a second. Yeah, you know, the U.S. State Department sends the guy overseas supposedly as an agent of peace and reconciliation, but this is the same guy then who doesn't understand that it is a provocative act, Bill, to put the mosque in that location. I think, you know, let me just state clearly, it's a First Amendment issue. I think that's true. I think he still has the right to do it. But this raises the bar. My thing about this is, as I'm looking, I think this is, Imam Rauf has already said he thinks the U.S. was an accessory to what happened on 9/11. You recall he said that to 60 Minutes. Now we learn this about his associate. I don't want to be guilty of guilt by association. I don't think he's responsible for what this guy does or says.
No. I didn't say he was responsible, but he's hiding it. Look, this is a guy under tremendous scrutiny, Juan. Tremendous. Everybody's looking at him saying, who are you? Who's paying for it? What are your beliefs? And he goes, hey, I'm the friendliest guy in town. I want everybody to get together. The U.S. government's giving him money to go overseas to tell everybody that, ostensibly. And who's his buddy who founds his organization? This guy Khan. Did we ever hear this name, Juan? Did he ever say anything about it?
I didn't nobody in journalistic circles knew about this guy until tonight on your show.
Well, the New York Post broke it today. All right, and the investigative project had it.
Give credit where credit's due. Right. But this isn't what we knew about this Imam. Is he's a guy who refuses to say Hamas is a bunch of terrorists. He says the U.S. had some obligation or role in what happened on 9/11. That is what. But now the key is, and you touched on this a minute ago. Where's the money? Where's the money coming from? And is the money linked to radical organizations? Because he says he's a moderate. The State Department says he's a moderate.
I don't know how he can be a moderate if he forms an organization with a guy who runs around saying Al-Qaeda had nothing to do with 9/11, Mary Catherine. How can you be a moderate and hang with a guy like that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think when it comes to these situations, you look how closely the two are involved, and then you find out that this guy, the truther, has preached at the proposed location for the mosque, which is problematic, and that they founded an organization together, which is supposed to be a moderate Muslim group. If he didn't know that this guy was a truther, which I can't imagine that he didn't, then, you know, this is really problematic. He needs to come out and talk about it. I think what's going on here is this is a sensitive project in a sensitive place, and he's been waging, or should have been waging, a PR campaign since the beginning, but he's waging the worst PR campaign in the history of PR campaigns. And now you've got his friend who basically, you know, he wants to build bridges, he says, but now we've got this guy who's his buddy and has been for a long time, basically making the greatest, most blatant excuse for terrorist violence that there is, saying, no, that didn't actually happen. Now, you put that guy preaching at the proposed area, and yes, people are going to have questions. They're going to want to know if this guy's serious.
What it does, Juan, is that all the people who said, hey, look, we don't want this mosque there because we don't trust these Muslims. That's what it comes down to. We don't trust them. We don't trust them. We don't trust this Ralph. We don't trust him. And, of course, the left turns it into, oh, you're bigoted. Oh, if you don't trust him, you're bigoted. And now we have a headline. Now the headline comes out, hey, Ralph's pal is a truther. And all the people who say we don't trust him go, told you, told you. That's exactly what this is.
Right. But remember what I warned you about. Guilt by association. We don't want to be guilty of that because, look, it's not that he's the only truther out there. There are a bunch of nuts in America.
It doesn't matter. It's on him to explain Khan, and he won't. Yeah. He won't explain it.
Right, and he's been hiding Khan. I heard you clearly. But let's not make a mistake and say that he's the only truther. Believe me, there are Americans, there are Christians, and there are Buddhists who are truthers.
It's all about Raouf, because Raouf is the driver behind this community center. It's only about him. And, and a lot of Americans simply don't trust the man, and now he's got this.
But it's not fair. It's not fair to say that he's the guy that's, you know, that everybody associated with me or Mary Catherine or you, Bill, that we're responsible for everything they say or believe.
No, but when you ask the guy, he's got to explain it. Go ahead, Mary Catherine.
And here's the thing. Raouf, the Imam now, is a public figure, and he has been for quite some time. He's employed by the State Department, going around the world speaking on our behalf. So public figures in this nation are required to distance themselves from 9/11 truthers, because that is the decent and right thing to do, and he should come on your show and
You know what? The U.S. government, the State Department, who sent him around the world on a taxpayer dime, they don't have any idea about him and Khan. They're watching this tonight going, holy, you know what? The Obama administration is going, oh, my God. They don't know. They don't know because they didn't look into this guy. They took him at face value. I guarantee you they have no idea about this Raouf. They don't know. And Raouf's sitting at home going, oh, well, you know, hey, we'll find out, Imam. And it's better for you to come on and tell us because we'll find out.
I want to know about the money. I want to know about the money. Mayor Bloomberg says we shouldn't care about the money. We don't ask about money for the churches and the synagogues. But I think this is a more reason for us to raise the bar and make more demands of finding information out about Raouf.
Well, we will. All right, Juan, Mary Catherine, thank you. Directly ahead, Britt Hume on the political implications of this explosive story. Will President Obama change his tune now on the mosque? And later, Bernie Goldberg on whether mainstream media will even report the story, which is obviously very important. Coming right back.
You're at the age where you don't get thrown by curveballs. This is the age of knowing how to get things done. So why would you let something like erectile dysfunction get in your way?